Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
It's live.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
All right. Greetings and welcome to Live Talk. I am your host, Arthur Jeremiah, alongside my co-host, the minister, Samuel.
Welcome back again to Live Talk.
And again, we have a special guest, our dear brother, Man of Purpose, MOP, our dear brother, Key Anji. Welcome, sir.
Everyone. Welcome, my brothers, the family, friends, everybody.
All right. So we couldn't do this show here without our dear brother. So this is part 2 of a show we did before. But before we go into anything, we're going to go to our general statement and disclaimer.
General statement. Live Talk is proudly powered by TBS Goodwill, Builders of the Highway Foundation, and Men of Purpose. Together, we're bringing about awareness to the everyday challenges facing individuals, communities, and our nation. We tell our stories, listen to yours, and always respect different perspectives. Want to share your voice? Email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com to be a guest, or if you would like to contribute to our mission, purpose, go to livetalkorl.com to give a donation. Disclaimer. Information provided during this event and others to come does not constitute the official opinion of Live Talk or its affiliate entities. It is strongly recommended that viewers seek independent expert advice regarding any topics discussed, as legal requirements differ significantly across jurisdictions and are subject to frequent changes. If you have questions or concerns, you can always email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Facebook and or Instagram at Live Talk Orlando.
We do things decently in order. And so, how my brothers doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Wonderful. Right. Great day. It's always a wonderful, we just starting a new month, so we want to start it off with a bang.
Right, indeed.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Great, wonderful, good health, blessed, highly favored.
All right.
Gracious Sabbath day if you Sabbath on the Sunday.
Right.
Yes, wonderful day.
Yes, sir. With all due respect, we want to respect all cultures, all faith-based, organizations, etc. So, like you say, great day, great Sunday. We're looking forward to a great show. And with that being said, let's give you a rundown of the show today. First, we're going to have the minister word of today. Right after that, we'll go to a short commercial break, and then we'll come back with our main topic. And our main topic today is Stepping into Adulthood, the Journey of a Young Black Male. This will be part 2, because we did part 1, and we're probably going to give just a little rundown of part 1, but we're doing part 2 today. And then right after that, we're going to go to a commercial break. We're going to come back with a little breaking of community news, and we'll get ready to close out right after that. Of course, and we'll have something from the host, a little reading from the host, and get ready to close out. So with no further ado, Minister, what is the word of today?
Okay, our word of today is going to be vocation. Vocation. So vocation, by definition, is a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation. It is a person's employment or main occupation, especially regarded as particularly worthy and requiring great dedication. It is a trade or a profession, a type of work that you feel you are suited to do and doing, to which you should give all of your time and energy, or feeling that a type of work suits you in this way. Vocation is the principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. Some synonyms for vocation are a calling, a life's work, mission, purpose, function, profession, career, trade, craft, business, and specialty. Vocation.
All right, vocation. So we're going to be talking about this today as we get into our main topic. Just want to touch on that so you guys will know what we're going to be talking about and how it's defined. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break and we're going to come back and we'll get right into our main topic.
What do all these people have in common besides a beautiful smile, healthy teeth, and gums? They all use Zadi toothpaste. Zadi toothpaste is made with all natural ingredients. Zadi toothpaste is fortified with moringa and baking soda. Zadi toothpaste is suds-free, making it an excellent choice for kids. All natural, fortified, and suds-free. Get yours today at noistore.com.
All right, so welcome back. Like mentioned before, this is part 2 of our last episode where we talked about stepping into adulthood, the journey of the young black male, part 2. Part 1, that was. This is part 2 of that. And in that particular episode, we talked about, the youth coming, graduating from high school. And we kind of delved into how, they have these options and choosing which way to go. And we kind of highlighted at that time trade schools and, vocational, and how oftentimes there's a myth that's around that when it comes to that. And a lot of times we don't care for it for whatever reason that may be. In fact, I think we talked about some reasons as well. We talked about some of, when it comes to the salaries centered around it. We talked about some statistics around it when it comes to, college versus vocational school, and how, college oftentimes is the ideal. But we kind of share how oftentimes it ain't ideal for us. There are other cultures and nationality do it for reasons of, joining their family organization or a company and becoming, the head of that company, etc. But we want to dive a little bit more into trade schools and why it's important for us to consider that, especially if you're a young black male, because oftentimes we see our young black males, from, we talk about the school, the pipeline, the school system to the prison pipeline. And that happens more often than anything. And so we want to just try to, shine a light on our young black males to say, hey, there's opportunities for you. You ain't always, you don't have to deal with a lot of the things that are going on in the world today. I would say the world, I ain't gonna just say our community, but the world, because the community is a safe place.
Yes. Oftentimes,
we can come to, and we're gonna hear all the great things, but the world is a wicked place. It's an evil place, and it's set up for to turn you around and make you out of this thug or this this criminal that the system have deemed you to be without you making any choices. So we want to kind of highlight some of these not new, but we want to highlight something that really oftentimes we overlook, but the opportunities are right there. But we just don't have the resources, or we don't know people that know some of these things that we should know about, right?
Correct.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about vocational schools and why they're thriving like they're thriving today, coming out of the pandemic. We're seeing that a lot of, the colleges are dropping, as far as attendance, but the vocational schools are gaining ground, and a lot of people are now, pretty much going in that direction. what y'all think, is just the reason behind that? And I'll flow this way.
Okay. And I would like to just briefly bump over the school to prison pipeline situation there. These trades and things that we're talking about, sometimes that's where they present it. But that's after you don't made a mistake.
Right.
You played 8, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, but then they want to bring the trade to you.
Right.
Say, hey, you ever considered this? Well, why don't we consider it before we get to that bad decision that we made? And then, get ahead of this.
Right.
And you get ahead of it, you're just that much more ahead of the game.
Right.
Yeah. I would say part of the reason I believe, it's gaining traction now is because, for the most of it, some of us don't like how much tech savvy our youth are today. But they there and they're getting that information.
Right.
So they kind of doing some homework themselves and calculating up, how many years I got to spend in college to do this? What am I gonna get paid after I get done? And so they kind of doing it themselves and kind of coming to the conclusion, wait a minute, this might not be so, this diamond might not be glycerin and so popular as they making it to be, you know what I'm saying? So I think they doing a little research and they kind of understanding, all the hype behind the college.
Right.
Pushing college, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, no, and I'll add to that. And for our audience, we'll say this just to be clear. We're not saying not to attend college.
Right.
Exactly.
College is a great thing. We definitely need higher education in our community.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that is not the only option for us within our community.
Right.
And when we pursue that only, we miss a lot of opportunity. Like when you say that school to prison pipeline, perfect example. You go to prison and get a felony, a lot of jobs immediately are going to be off the table for you. Even if you did 2 years, you're a felony, certain jobs, especially in certain industries, that door is going to be closed for you. And then the way there's inequities in the system, just for those who are not aware, that school to prison pipeline is designed for people that look like us.
Right.
The majority of us are the ones getting on that train. And so we're the ones that's suffering. But now, the definition of vocation, I'm gonna give you a trade school versus college. Trade schools focus on providing practical and job-specific training rather than the broad-based liberal arts education that you find at a college. Now, what's very unique is, like you're saying, we kind of, because they're tech savvy, some of them are waking up. You may not be aware of this, but colleges are closing at a rate of about 1 per week in 2024.
Wow.
1 per week are closing or having to merge with another institution, compared to about 2 a month just last year. So it's like colleges are closing, and it's like and then this is recent. You had students who are in college closed. So they're now trying to transfer your credit somewhere else. That's not easy. You can do it, but it's difficult. A lot of them don't even roll back. Some of the students went to other colleges. The college that they went to, now it's closing. So it's like, the reason we're talking about trades is because it's very job specific. And we kind of need to dispel that misnomer, like they're saying, if you go to prison, you got to learn a trade. There are very successful people who enter trades and make good money on their jobs. Others went into entrepreneurship and they run business because they learned a trade and then they took that trade and turned it into a business. So that opportunity is not being taught enough about to us. And because when it comes to unemployment, we're the ones who suffer. And you can get, and like I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with a degree, but if you look like us and you go in certain applications, your resume can be tight. But when you look like me,
that spot for somebody else.
and your hair look like mine, and your voice sound like mine, they look over the fact that I might be the sharpest nut in the bucket, and that's just a reality. We can say that it's not true, but we know it's true.
No, it is. Even what we're talking about, and just to add to that, when you think about, and you said something when you said liberal arts and a lot of the general education that you have to go through when you go to college in order to get to that point to earn a degree and then eventually get into some type of employment. When you think about trade school, and just one of the things that it was mentioned that I was doing a little research, and it was talking about, it said, one of it said, why is trade schools becoming more popular, right? This is mainly driven by the rise in costs. We talked about the cost of college education, a lengthy duration. That's what I'm talking about now. It takes to complete an undergrad, degree, and strong demands like right now are for skilled trade jobs, and those jobs and opportunities are available now.
Yes.
And you think about it, when you go through vocational school, the chances of finishing and completing that and getting into some of these industries, you can do that a lot sooner going to vocational school than going to college, where now you're doing a 2 or 4 year degree in college and you don't know what the next 4 years is going to bring about.
Right.
But we know this industry is booming right now.
Yes.
The electrical industry is booming now. The plumbing industry is booming now. They got and then the other thing is, you don't always have to have a degree. You can have a certificate. You can go through a process of getting a certificate. There's certain education, of course, you have to complete and do, but the opportunities are available now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't finna take you to all this red tape and all this stuff here. You're gonna learn your skill. You're gonna be able to get out there and go to work. And the other beautiful thing about it, I think
That's
apprenticeship.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And I know you brothers can talk on that.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna pass it along.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it's right now. It's not waiting on it. And the school thing, like you say, you have to have money, or your parents have to have money to take care of you while you're in school. And you got to pay for your books, you got to pay for your housing, you got to pay for your food, some clothing, stuff like that. So that's actually money coming out.
Yes.
That's not money coming in. For these trades, the doors open right now. You get in there immediately and get hands on, and really it's where you want to take it.
Right.
It's how far you want to go with it.
Right.
Some people, and you have to like what you do. You have to like what you do.
You do.
And I want to briefly just go back to the first show and bring it forth again about that stigma of, if you don't go to college, you're not successful.
Exactly.
We got to keep bringing that forward and letting people know that's don't believe the hype.
Right.
That's not mean that. You can take care of yourself, and if you have a family or starting a family, and you taking care of yourself, and you learn something, and you enjoying what you're doing, then Most High bless you.
Right.
Don't let nobody talk down on you thinking, Oh man, you out there mixing concrete or making concrete or laying blocks. And you gotta be confident in what it is you do and say, hey, I got the health and strength to do it. I enjoy doing it. Hey, I'm blessed. Highly favored. You got to claim it, man.
And I'm getting paid to do it.
And I'm getting paid, right? You going to school and you're asking your mom and them for money every month.
And so you bring up a point, and that's see some of us now are in a position to pay for our children to go to school, but the disparity is the majority of us can't pay for the full college education. So unless you're fortunate enough to get like a full ride, like if you can get a sports or academic scholarship to pay for it all, most students are taking on some college debt. And so now it's like you going in debt and you're not making money. Now, you're a person in finance. Anybody knows Finance 101. If you're not making money and you're spending money, that is a disaster.
Right.
But that's promoted like it's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Get a credit card.
Go ahead and take $50,000 worth of debt to finish the 4 years. But you ain't got no money coming in. What financial advisor would tell you to take on $50,000 worth of debt and you have no income to replace it?
Right.
And get a credit card on top of that.
Hey, get it
yourself while you along the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Just credit.
Charge it. Get 3. Get charge it.
Yes.
And just float it.
We approve it.
And pay. And
We know you're gonna make money someday.
pay minimums until you graduate. Pay minimums until you graduate. See, we setting up. A lot of us get set up for disaster, and then when you get out and you don't get that job, or you get that entry level job, you don't have to like. Here's some. It said an average trade school costs $33,000, but they have less than 2% dropouts. Colleges average $127,000, but the average dropout rate is 40%. Now, these just stats. To me, that number sounds high for the trade schools because I know a lot of trade schools do not cost that much.
Right.
But I guess maybe if you average them out, but it's like you got 2%, less than 2% dropout. That means virtually 98 to 99% graduate, go into their field and start working. Whereas you got 40% who not gonna graduate. They go have that debt and then they not working. So it's like you really have to look at what are the options?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you make an investment in something, you always want to consider your return on your investment. And if you're speaking to one of those fast talking recruiters, they're telling you all the things you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? They talk about this job, well, this here in this industry is gonna make $200,000 and you can make this much money here. They never tell you that you're gonna need 2 or 3 years of experience in order to get to that point. They don't tell you some of the things you hear about once you finish school, like, know about any of this here.
You get to wear this red and gold. You can wear this red and gold.
Right.
If you believe in drinking the Kool-Aid that once I get this degree, I just go and present this, and I went to this supposed to put me in manageable position. Right. So here go my papers, my degree. I'm ready to start being a manager. Right. No, buddy. You still got to start at round 1.
Yep. What? I could have made that without going to college.
That part.
And it's going to take me 46 years to try to get up to that.
Right.
But now you got a family to feed on the way.
Right.
So it becomes real.
Yeah. That's when reality kicks in. When you have that family, because now you have to make some real decisions, some choices. Now you stuck at McDonald's or what's Burger King or
Walmart.
Walmart. There you go. I was trying to think of another industry, but you're stuck at one of those and you're miserable. You're mad at everybody you see coming
with a degree
in the door, but you have a degree. You're educated now. You're smart,
Right.
but you at McDonald's.
Right.
You're the smartest person in there.
And then we kind of, I don't know how much time we got left before a break. We come back or whatever.
No, we got about 30 minutes.
Okay, well then we came to that right now in our discussion. I did some research on that because my question, what I wanted to know was, what are the majority of athletes? What are they majoring in? Like if you go into college and you're a ball player, you don't got a scholarship. What is your major? What is you majoring in besides being on the football field? You know, because what happened if that don't work? Now you gotta pretty much focus on what you was majoring in.
And that's a good question, because if you majored in something that was just general and you got a general degree, you don't have anything specific to go to. You got to go do. Now you feel you can do something in sports, or now you gonna go to a high school and teach at a high school.
Surprisingly, you're not surprisingly, but you're right on point. You're right on point, brother minister. That's the fields. That's the majors that the majority of athletes sign up for. They go to, and you just think about it. You got practice, not only for the season, but even when the off season, you got to be in there working out.
Right.
So, to be honest, you can't be going for like a doctor or
no.
It's too much. It's
too much pressure.
Requiring too much time.
Right.
And studying.
Right.
Exams. Assignments.
Yeah.
Got to be turned in.
Right.
So of course you're gonna water that major down, where you might be just cutting some pictures out of a magazine and gluing it to a poster board, like you did in high school, and saying, "Here goes my project." Majority of them major in business administration. You got the major, communication.
Right.
We know what communication is. These things that I know a lot of people, like my children even, that not only, but may have an AS degree or something like that. They didn't go to the college for the 4 years. Some of them didn't go even to get the AS. But they in these fields.
Yeah.
Just from a high school diploma. They in it, prospering and making money.
Yep.
Communication. What is that? Kinesiology. It's like the study of physical, like your physical ability.
Okay.
Oh.
Am I pronouncing that right? I ain't ashamed.
This is by getting education.
Yes. Education. We know that one.
Right.
Which is a lot of times they were saying middle school, elementary, middle, and high school. And then psychology and sociology.
Okay.
But these things, the kinesiology, that's physical therapy. So that's kind of, if you're a football player,
okay,
kind of along your lines, because you kind of study, if you don't make it to the NFL. These are some of the majors for athletes that don't make it to the NFL. These are some of the things they fall back to do.
Like personal training.
That was in there. Yeah. So all of that, I have listed here. Administration supervisor, $81,000 a year. Management assistant, that's $71,000. Operation manager, $83,000. Just to give you, that's administration. You come in social field, digital media, stuff like that, $50,000. Public relations, $43,000. Just touching over some of this. Kinesiology, personal trainer, like you mentioned, $50,000. Fitness,
that's more medium wage.
Yes,
like
that's the average wage.
Okay, and that's coming out of college though.
Coming out of college.
So we don't know what the debt look like to even get to that.
Right, you got to deduct that from.
Right.
This is your yearly salary.
Right.
starting, pretty much general,
And that's if they can get them numbers.
Yes, if they can get them numbers.
Right.
In education, you got school teachers, and that's 44,000. Librarian, 56,000. But then if you jump over into
And teaching is an honorable profession.
it is
But it's like you're not making millions.
right.
And I'm not knocking teachers. I think teachers are underpaid.
Right.
Absolutely.
But when you saying the only option, and see, that's what I like with vocation. Most teachers, honestly, they have a calling. They really don't do it for the money. Good teachers are educators, and they enjoy teaching because we need them to bring it forward. But you're not doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
But you still spent that on a 4-year degree
Right.
or a 6-year degree.
Right. And you hear a lot of those teachers even going into their own
Yes.
salary to buy supplies
Yeah.
Yes.
for the school
Yeah.
because it's needed. Like you said, we're not knocking, none of that stuff, none of these. But these are things that they find themselves falling back on. And then just think about it. Like we saying around the table. If this is your expected salary and you come out of there with who knows how much debt,
Right.
not only from the degree, but from the credit cards, all them little $15 Happy Meals and
During them 4 to 6 years.
that 15 gonna turn into $150 for one meal because you're paying that minimum.
Right.
All that stacked up is gonna leave you if you're not strong. If you don't have a strong mind, if you don't have a strong faith, you're gonna get discouraged, and that's when you're gonna say, "Man, what I'm working doing this for?
Right.
I don't waste 4 or 5 years of my life, and I'm making the same thing as Jeffrey right there,
Right.
and he came right out of high school."
Exactly.
But I think it goes back to what we kind of talked about in the first show when it comes to making that decision when you have all your friends that's going to college, but all for the wrong reason because they're going to have some fun. They're going to connect, they're going to network and just have a good time, if you will. And
50% to get away from their parents.
yeah.
Just throw that in.
That's true. Because I tell you, that was one of those things. Like, and then if you are, and I just say growing up in the inner city, there was, and I'll just say for me, there was some opportunity to go into that direction. I always said when I was from 14, 15 years of age, that I always wanted to do something with my hands. I want to run my own business. So I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur anyway. And I used to see the TV repair guy, and every time my TV go out, he over there fixing that TV. I said, man, you're a black guy. So, I kind of looked up and respected that. I said, man, he can go out, fix the TVs and stuff. I said, you know what? I'm going to build myself up. I'm going to open me up a VC or repair TV shop. So that was one of my goals. So as I was, coming up and, I saved my little money, that was my mind was. Then the first trade school I went to was ITT Tech. And I was still in school during that time. And I was going to ITT Tech. And I think I may have just graduated from high school, and then my last year at high school. That's what I like about Jones High, and a lot of our, Jones High. I think Evans do some of the same stuff. They kind of pushed the kids their last year to go take up a trade. I took up film development. I wasn't as conscious at that time when I took up film development to say like, man, I need to take this in and really learn it and do something with it. But come to find out that industry was slowly, it was disappearing. Because, now that I think film development still probably high end, when you talk about on a high end level. I think they still do something similar to that. But now, man, you got cameras, you got different, digital stuff. So everything has changed from that point. But it was just the fact that learning trades, you can get a trade at that particular time, was a beautiful thing, because now you have a skill set. But if you can take that skill set and really hone in on it and use it as a way for you to drive you to go and get a job, or to say, hey, I know this skill, can you hire me? That changes the game, opposed to just going out there without any skills. And then a lot of times, when you're learning trades and you go out to, pick up a job or what have you, they have on the job training that goes along with that. So it's just so many opportunities. And that was one of the opportunities that presented itself to me and allowed me to do some of the things that I began doing, even getting into the computer industry. But yeah, that's, we always have to know how others got into certain situations, and the opportunities are there for us to get into these trade opportunities, and the schools are presenting that.
And I like you talking about you looking at the TV repairman. I had that model before me, which is a gentleman in our neighborhood. He owned his own pool company. And we played stickball right on the street in front of his house. And I used to remember, and all of us as boys, we out there playing football or stickball or whatever, him coming in with his rig, and his house was nice, his yard was nice, and we was like, man, brother doing good. So, we kind of looking into that, like, man, I might want to do something like that, or what it is he do, because look how he prospered. And I remember, even with, in that teenage year, going out and doing stucco with my dad. My dad did stucco. So going out and doing that, you 14 or 15, you put your little jeans on and your boots, and you go out there and get a little mud on you. Sometimes you try to get a little bit.
Oh, you think you did something.
Look like you go home.
I'm doing it.
And people used to, they used to look at you like,
right.
Oh, okay, you went to work today. That's good.
Yep.
So
but it meant something to you, though.
It did.
Yep.
Nowadays, some of these young guys, they go to work and be embarrassed by going to work and getting dirty.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
valuing?
Embarrassed about going to work and getting dirty? I remember working young and picking oranges.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm filling up a bear. You get $10. You fill up a.
We wasn't ashamed to go turn in cans or bottles, brother.
I'm telling you.
We gather bottles or cans to get us some cookies and candy, man. We wasn't ashamed, man. and we go to the store and we felt like, hey, we don't work today. We don't did something.
Yeah.
We get our little snacks. We go back.
That's how it works.
Right.
And play football again.
A work ethic.
Yes.
It is.
And it's something different about doing things with your hands and making your own money. That when you, from a young age, and I guess it has to be a part of you about making your own money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you say, people, I done picked oranges. I wasn't as good as a hog man, but I knew,
right.
Oh, that's okay. I can put some money in my pocket.
Right.
And wasn't no shame in it. And it was, I can remember when I was younger, pre-teenager, air conditioning, I'm going to go back, tell my age a little bit. Air conditions in our community, everybody didn't have an air conditioner. That was a new thing.
I'm telling you.
That was a new thing. If you got a window unit,
yes, sir.
So everybody had fans.
Yes.
And they would tear the fans get broke. And it's like, well, all they did was messed up that. You better leave that thing, it's gonna shock. And all you gotta do is cut it off. If it take them two. And I guess the most I must have looked at public because I didn't get electrocuted. But I learned I could put them two in there and make that fan come on. Again, only thing wrong is it's got a short.
Look at that.
So they spend $25, mama.
I go to the hardware store. It was 50, 60 cents. Put them 2 wires on that plug and that fan working. Now it's like they want me fixing the fan and the TV. And
you got a job now.
But it's like it's just a loose cord. But it's like then you learn to do things with your hands. And see, when I was in college, I remember studying computers years ago. But part of that was, this is how they taught vacuum tubes, vacuum tubes, and then VCRs and TVs was the newer thing. When they started going to transistors, some of us were younger, but it was an older guy in college with us. And this was probably halfway in when they went into the television, VCRs, the vacuum tubes versus the transistors. He said, that's all I gotta do. He opened up a shop and started fixing TVs and VCRs. The rest of us still halfway through. He opened up a shop and started fixing TVs and VCRs.
He already seen it.
Boom, the light bulb went off for him that quick. The rest of us, we want to learn the transistors. We want to learn how to do it. We want to learn how to program. And it's like, he saw it right then. He opened up a shop and started fixing TVs and VCRs while long before he graduated. Because he saw value.
Right.
That's it. He saw a need and he was able to fill that need. And we have to be able to, like I can say, we're not knocking college, but for in our community, like in America right now, there's a housing crunch. There's a housing shortage. That's why it's so expensive. Most people saying they can't afford it because there's a backlog of houses.
The demand.
And the neighbors to build.
And the builders, they can't keep up. They're trying to build them. But you need laborers. You need skilled, not just laborers, but you need skilled craftsmen in order to do this. Not only do you need craftsmen, you need project managers, you need project superintendents. It's a wealth of finances that can be brought in, but we're missing that boat because the building it's steadily, they trying to catch up because the housing shortage is behind. But then you have other nationalities who are coming here and they see this and they're taking advantage because there's a need that need to be filled and they're filling it.
Yeah. So we got about 15. We got about 15 more minutes. I'm glad you brought that to the forefront because when it comes to trades, who is really truly benefiting from it? Because we may jump into it here and there, and it seems like those at this table kind of understand the importance of it. We have ventured into areas and have done some things, and it has rewarded us greatly, as we can see. But when you look at the industry now, considering that this boost when it comes to vocational, who is really jumping into these trades like right now? Because I mean, you over probably 15 years in it. You over 15 years in it. I'm over 15 years in it. And back then, maybe some of us kind of understood that, but it slowly started to die off. But now is at a point where there's another, culture and that's really taking advantage of this. So who are some of these? Let's talk about that. Because you out there,
yes,
you in the field,
Mm-hmm.
You know who some of the your competitors are when it comes to different things.
Absolutely, we spoke on it some in the part one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Mexicans. The Mexicans is bombarding the industry when it comes to construction, and the way they doing it, and you can't be mad at them because they figured out a system.
Right.
They work in that system, and it's working for them.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know if we even ever had the system as organized as they have this.
No.
It was back in the day we had black drywall businesses, black concrete businesses, block masons, roofers, all of that. But we just had we had the business and we had some employees. A lot of times those employees, them guys went to the corner and got them guys.
Right.
You just, the stores used to be the pickup place.
Right.
Yes.
You would drive up to the store, and if you took that guy often, you knew when you rode up there, he jumped on the truck with you.
Right.
You took him out to lay bricks, lay blocks, or to pour concrete, whatever the case was. wasn't an organized system
Right.
like they had. Because not only
It was
are they
unspoken, but it was there.
yes,
The
yes,
break corner was there.
right. Our thing, part of what they doing that we wasn't doing, they pulling their resources, they pulling.
They sure are.
You know what I'm saying? In every aspect, living together, grocery bill. I found out they don't make payments on trucks. Them new trucks, y'all see them ride? Or them certified pre-owned trucks, because we know trucks expensive.
Right.
I found out they don't make payments on them trucks for the most of them. What they do is they draw. If there's 5 or 6 of them living in a house, they draw and say, all right, whoever name we draw, you're going to be the first one to get a truck. And they pool their resources.
Yeah, and they buy it.
Whatever money they have already, or whatever money they're going to work, they say, hey, we're going to buy this truck. This going to be your truck. We're going to ride with you. All of us. Ride in that truck with you to work until we get Pedro, he up next, his truck. They buy them trucks. Pedro get a truck. What's the best name? I'm just throwing some things out there, but you get the idea. Pedro get a truck.
Yes.
So they doing that with the vehicles. They doing that with the rent. They doing that with the groceries. The women at home while the men at work during the day. Some of them get jobs at night at the restaurant or whatever. They still bringing in more money.
Oh, and they clean. It's there's an industry.
Right.
Construction cleanup is an industry. How like domestic. See, people being a maid. That's a business. You got wealthy people who pay to have their houses clean.
Absolutely.
And then you get 4 or 5 people cleaning houses. You now have a business. You have created an industry in cleaning, or construction cleanup, or what all this work going on. Someone has to eat, so now you have to feed them. Which it started off with food trucks. A lot of food trucks. Food trucks they go to restaurants.
Right.
But there's a need, and our Mexican, our Hispanic family, they see it and they're feeling it.
Right.
We are missing it because I don't see as many of us in the trades as I used to, and I definitely don't see as many joining it. See, like business owners, very few, but like younger going into it, you don't see them in our community the way it is in those communities. And then now they coming into those trades, they learn the trade, they capture it, and now it's a business. You have to go to them because you need it, because there's a need now. And then they may start with lower prices, but then now the price just goes up to market value.
Right.
They doing it at market value now.
Well, if you knock people, you know, the thing about it, and that's with indie, you just learn from what you see. You know, most organizations or most big companies, they come in and they try to move the small companies out. So they'll come in and their prices will be lower, you know, because they know the small companies can't keep up with them, you know, and they build this, and we may not look at them as a empire, but they are.
Yes.
When you like you talked about it, they pooling their resources, they become real strong together as a whole. You know, we like, it's like your hand, like we're like this here, we're divided. And you think of it like this here. If you take this hand and you was to slap somebody with his hand, it's gonna sting. But if you ball this up like this here together strong,
or just even put them together,
or put them together like this here, that's power. That's the knockout. That's how they are. They're strong together, and they're picking up all the jobs. And so there's no jobs available for the smaller person because they're grabbing all the jobs. You get what I'm saying? So as people calling them out, they're giving the better price. And like you say, over a year, maybe 2 years, they then can raise that up to the market value to where it should be at. But guess who ain't there no more?
We not. Because it's supply and
Right.
demand. Now you got to have it.
Right.
So you call them now. You have to.
And who are they competing against? They ain't gonna
They
compete
compete
with each
against
other.
them.
No.
Well, they ain't competing against
No,
themselves, but
if they the only ones left in the market,
there you go.
they gonna hold their price because they
Right.
saying, all right,
Yes.
even if you don't do it, you don't give me the work,
You go give
you
it
don't
to
get
him.
the pay for it,
Right.
you charge you the same price because
Right.
we don't already agree. This is what we want.
Right,
And this what it's going for.
right,
If the competition, and then now you try to find or pull up one of the brothers that used to work for you doing that, but it's the break corner gone.
right.
Yep.
The guy from the corner ain't there no more.
Yeah,
He don't have a crew.
he went and got a job somewhere else.
He don't got a job somewhere.
That $150, $200 a day guy.
That Coca-Cola somewhere
Right.
driving the truck.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now what?
Yeah.
And that's, and like you said, bro, they from the roof to the foundation.
Yes.
I'll just go even back. I think we got 5 minutes. I was just told we had 5 minutes on this topic, but I just go back. I remember starting the computer business, and there was brothers that was in the business, you know, and this was around the time that you ain't find too many African Americans that was in the computer industry like that. So to find this brother, I'm like, man, this brother in it.
Right.
And I'm trying to talk to him like, man, how can we pull together? Because there's a lot of service out there that we can do.
Yep.
And I'm like, bro, it's so much money out here that we can make. I can't make all this money myself.
Yep.
But I know if we come together, we can establish something that's solid. You'll be able to make money. I can make money.
Yep.
You bring some people in. I bring people in. You connect with some other people just like us that know the skill, that has the skill that can do this here. And we can take over the industry when it comes to the service. But he didn't want to do it. He couldn't see it.
Look, Pedro get a truck. Jose get a truck.
Yep.
We're gonna pay for that one first.
Mhm.
Look at they faithfulness
Mhm.
to each other. They ain't saying, well, why Pedro get it first?
Right.
Even though he pulled first,
Right.
the name came up first.
It don't matter.
Why they say they ain't no argument?
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah. Congratulations.
Wow, man. Because you know, I'm gonna get mine.
Right.
We working to get mine next. I'm in the lineup.
Mhm.
And the brother's not gonna run out on me
Mhm.
after they don't got theirs and say, well, we got ours, you on your own.
Right.
That's a sense of unity.
They can go to sleep at night, rest assured. Even if, like you said, we try to get a store, go into partnership in a store together. Now, the store open from 8 to 5.
Mhm.
We go home, all right. You're my brother, have a good evening, man. I'll talk with you, see you tomorrow, okay? We go home. I run out to the store to get something. Let me just swing by the store and just make sure everything's all right. You might be in there, you know what, I ain't quite finished that document I needed to. That thing need to be fixed. I'm gonna go back and do it. I said, man, what? He trying to make money without me.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
man, what you there doing?
Yeah.
That's
You could be saving the business, but
Mhm.
that mentality hurt the business, hurt the relationship.
Right.
Now I'm looking over your shoulder. What
Right.
are you over there doing?
Mhm.
It's our unity, man.
Yeah.
Our coming together, brother.
Yeah.
And these, it seems like nothing, but these are major areas they come together in because we can't come together in something simple.
Right.
It's hard for us to stick together to come and do something positive, just
Right.
non-profit.
Right.
right. And
We lose brothers doing non-profit stuff.
and it's and see that's part of that go back from because we have a different they have a similar oppression from where they came from, but they conscious of their unity, so when they get here they want to take advantage. That's why I got on my Juneteenth shirt.
Okay.
You know, I was checking that out. I said, I said,
Yeah, I was out on Juneteenth, so
who
you
was
got-
selling that there? And I should have been over there.
Gotta support black business.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, if it look good, I gotta get one. Break me off. I gotta had to take my wife out of this. Good Lord, she done went on a shopping trip. Like, I have nothing. Wait a minute now. I gotta find something that fit me. But see that concept of that divide That's what we would. And see, then now we got dropped off here and say everything is okay. No, everything is not okay because we need one another. We have to be able to see we need one another. That's why we're talking about the importance of teaching trades to our young people. College is great, but we got to have more than that. Yeah. It's like, what good is a cake without the candles, or without the icing, or without the filling, or without a plate? You need it all. They give us. We take what we think is one thing, and then we missing all the other parts. How can you be successful in business without a customer base?
Right.
It's basic economics. But okay, you're gonna start who you gonna market to. Now, if you partner with someone else, maybe, but we can partner. Our Mexican family has showed us that they can do it, and they're not going to the banks begging for it. They're not asking. Oh. They're not asking anyone's permission. They're simply doing it, which is all it's like, quit begging. I'm not saying not to vote. Please vote. But don't wait on the vote. Right. I don't care who wins. Yeah. It's not going to stop me from doing what I need to do. It's not going to stop me spending that black dollar.
Right.
My daughter, I sent my daughter to school. She graduated from a trade school, and she's my project manager. She get to not cut her own check. But I can tell you, in that room, I'm not seeing a lot of us. Back when I graduated, there were more of us, and we were moving in. The numbers of us are decreasing, and the others are coming in. And if we don't open our eyes, soon the doors will be closed.
Right.
They buying the houses, they buying the vehicles, they buying the buildings, the restaurants. So they not just in residential, they in commercial.
Yes.
I almost envy.
Yep.
I see what they're doing. I pay attention.
Right.
I don't know.
I like what they're doing. I love to see what they're doing.
It should be a motivation, though.
Yeah.
It should be a motivation. I think we came to that time. Oh my goodness, we came to that time. We just got so much more to talk about, when it comes to this, because I tell you, I was talking to a brother today, and I was saying the same thing about, when it comes to he was talking about starting a business. And I said, that's great. He said he want to bring his son into it. I said, that's even better. I said, oh, he's 16. He was like, I said, well, teach him the importance of running a business, but also making sure he contribute to Black-owned businesses. And and one of the things, and I'm an engineer, he's we're gonna have to change gears. But one of the things, and I think it's important. That's why I'm sharing. One of the things he said was, if the price is good, because he was talking about some Black-owned businesses charge more than going to Walmart or whatever. I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said, we're 400 years behind. I say we have to understand the importance of dealing with one another because we're in the same community. Because see, what happens is when you can't pay your lights, Walmart ain't gonna pay your lights for you. No. But you're gonna see me, the one that you didn't deny, ain't want to spend no money with me because I'm $50 or $100 more, and ain't gonna be nasty to you. But I'm just gonna tell you, hey man, I ain't getting the support I need to be able to help you. Now, as I was getting the support, guess what I can do? I can do more for the community. Yes. I can do more for this young man over here. So it's value in dealing with Black-owned businesses because they give so much back to to Black people. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have to be mindful of that when we talk about trying to compare Black-owned businesses and how much they charge to Walmart or Target or whatever the case may be. So I just want to bring that to the forefront. I know you brothers probably want to talk on it a little bit.
You feed another Black family, you create another Black job, you create more Black wealth.
Right.
That's an investment.
It sure is. And people just got to be mindful of that. Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to have some different news, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm an enrolled agent with Scott & Associates accounting firm. As you can see, we work diligently for our clients. making sure that all of their tax and accounting needs are met. Come take a walk with me.
At Scott & Associates, we pride ourselves in providing exceptional service to our clients. We firmly stand behind all of the work that we do. However, we have also put measures in place to protect our clients should something ever go wrong.
To schedule a tax appointment for your business or personal need, text or call us today at 321-754-1360. And remember, you can always count on Scott.
Because Scott & Associates always treats me like family, I refer my family to them. So when preparing for my taxes and I know exactly what to bring in coming in, it makes the process so much easier. Anyone should hire Scott & Associates because they are professional, respectful, and very knowledgeable. And with all of my heart, I can always count on them.
All right, welcome back. This here, it was pretty much where we switched gears a little bit. As far as breaking news, we are going to continue talking about, trades, and we have a lot more to share because we're going to have a trade show. And our potential date when it comes to the trade show is October the 26th. So that's what we have in mind. We want to keep the community aware of that, and so that when we start to put information out, people be conscious of that particular date. But just put that date in your calendar, and just put trade show, and there'll be more information that we're going to bring to the forefront when it comes to that. So just want to make mention of that. We'll probably mention that a little bit as we close out. The brothers probably mention some of that as well as we begin to close out. But just want to switch gears. July the 1st starts. If you don't know, if you haven't been following us, if you follow us, we'll talk about laws here in Florida. And we'll talk about different laws that oftentimes our community is not aware of. We try to make sure that we bring awareness to those laws because what does it say, Minister? Ignorance of a law, no excuse. So just because you don't know that the law exists, don't mean you won't be held accountable for whatever crime or whatever law you violate. So we want to just be mindful of that. And there are some laws that that I just want to bring to the forefront so that we're somewhat conscious of it. One of the laws that was written into effect is HB 385, and that particular law gives courts the power to require parents to use neutral, safe exchange locations at sheriff offices when they share custody of children. So basically, in a case like that, when you having a custody battle, where the young lady and the young man need a safe place to exchange the child, so that's something that was implemented so that now they have a mediator in the mix of that. So I think that was something good,
That's a good one.
Yeah. HB 415, which directs Florida Department of Health to set up a website that provides information and links to certain pregnancy and parenting sources. So just resources when it comes to that. HB 461 allows for new mothers to no longer be required to report for jury duty if they are giving birth within 6 months of the reported date. I think, they have been, calling them to jury duty. So this allows them not to be called to jury duty if they're within that 6 months time. And those 3 laws I just named deal more with parenting. The next laws I'm going to talk about kind of deals with education. And this starts with HB 1264, and it adds the history of, we talked about this on one of the shows, and it talked about communism. But you want to share that one? That one
it's SB 1264, and this has been written in the law. So just don't be surprised that it adds the history of communism to the required instruction in public schools starting in the 26-27 school year. It's so that's going to be a required course starting the 26-27 school year.
Yeah, definitely. And we laughed about this one because they were talking about the evil behind communism. And then we would say, okay, well, we can't talk about the evil behind slavery. You took that out of the school system.
That can't be there. But communism, you need to teach about communism.
Right.
Evil of that.
To a group of now, and what about people that look like us?
Ain't that some?
Okay, so
they've taught us their history or what they want us to know about their history. But since the time we was young.
Right.
That's what they care about us.
And I'm gonna go down a little bit because I know we're kind of pressed on time. I'm gonna go to where it talks about law enforcement, and HB 601 restricts citizen review boards from investigating alleged wrongdoing by police officers. Now, I haven't looked deep into this law, but I'm almost thinking this law may not be the most favorable law. What you think about that? I'm gonna say it again so you can kind of get a gist of what I just said. It's HB 601 restricts citizens review boards from investigating alleged wrongdoing by police officers.
That's they had came together and so-called was allowing like this committee when all this was going on with the
George Floyd.
Yes, all these accounts of wrongdoing on black citizens. So then they said, well, hey, well, all right, after the cameras didn't get us we was hoping it would do, because like, all right, now it's obvious, it's in front of everybody,
right?
It's there for everybody to see.
Still not guilty.
Nobody, still not guilty. that didn't phase them one iota, I don't believe. So then they said they were going to form this committee, and then the committee could sit before, I guess, the film and decide whether or not the officer was wrong or not. So I guess they probably figuring that's a wash too.
Right, they restricting that.
Yeah, restricting. Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Because my thing was gonna be when they came up with that was, okay, who the committee gonna be?
Who the committee?
Right.
Like the court. You before your how they say in the court?
Your
peers, yeah.
I'm looking at them 12 folk. Them don't look like my peers.
Right. So that was my thing. Who the committee gonna be? What it gonna look like?
Not economically, culturally, and financially, they don't look.
So I guess they realized the committee would have to look like the community.
Right. That's the only way. It makes sense.
Exactly. So then it was like, oops, well.
Like,
but we know how they gonna pay us.
Right.
So maybe we better put some restrictions on.
Right.
It's all about.
Yeah. So
as always, it gave this piece of candy, but then they take the bag.
See that one there is those kind they're gonna affect people that look like us. The worst is because it's like that's, and I haven't read it all, but just on the surface, they saying the sheriff or and it like the police chief or whoever will be able to pick that review board. Mm-hmm. So it's like, depending on who the wrongful doing. See, that's they saying for wrongful doing, you can't do it. Okay, they saying we can look at the policies and the procedure. Okay, the policies and the procedures always been there. The policy always been protect and serve.
Right.
No chokeholds.
Right.
It's always been there. Right. The problem is when you're not protecting, but you shooting, and you are choking.
Right.
And if it's being reviewed, if you picking the people to review it, and there's good police officers who go out there every day and do a very difficult job.
Yeah.
But it's assholes who get into that field so they can be devious and deviants. I'm just gonna say it out loud. They get in there because that shield that badge gives them a shield to do wrong. But you don't want that reviewed by somebody that's independent. It's like police officers need some protection, but when they obviously do wrong, they can't be above the law.
Right.
But this is saying, we making it where no, we don't want you looking at it.
Right. We're gonna restrict you from even going that deep.
And normally when there's a problem, I don't know the percentages, so I don't want to, but the majority of the time when there's police issues, it's with people of color.
Right.
It's, other people have issues with the police, but they don't have the issues that we have.
No, they don't. I mean, my nephew, my engineer today, he was so-called detained by the police, and they legally searched his car. Why they detained him now? Let me tell you what the definition, and I ain't looked the definition of a detain. I know what detain is. Normally when they detain you, they can put straps on the front of you, right? They put handcuffs behind him. That's arresting.
That sound like a arrest.
That's an arrest. Which we're gonna go down and we're gonna have some conversation with some people. This is what they do to our young men in our community because they don't know the law. And even if they did know the law, they want to build a reaction from them so they can then use force against them. That's why we have to be conscious and mindful of that. And we have to know there's other options in place so that we don't allow them to bring that out of us so now they can use force.
Resisting arrest.
Resisting arrest. And then take
deadly force.
There you go.
Resisting arrest in they term, resisting arrest could be you just arguing your statement.
That's it.
It could be
any opposition.
Why are you arresting me, or why are you doing that? They just consider.
And you say, well, you ran the red light. I ain't ran no red light. That's resisting arrest. Because I ain't do it. That's resisting. You're resisting.
See how broad that is.
Right.
And then they show you on the camera saying, "Wait, man, what? Wait, hold on."
Right. Because you just want to get some understanding.
Right. Now they can put like the gun, the stick.
And see, when you got those who are there because they are police officer with a nefarious intent, usually that's the ones who doing this.
Yes,
the ones with nefarious intent. They won't do it to people that are Caucasian because they know that review board is going to come after you for doing it to them.
Right.
But they do it to us, and then they hide behind the shield of, I felt threatened, but he was resisting arrest, and my training says I had to put him down or her down. Right. And it's unfortunate. That's what Juneteenth 1865. We shouldn't have to be having this conversation, but it's our white counterparts who license and do business just like we do. They don't have these incidents when they get stopped or they don't have these incidents with their children when they get stopped that we do. For us, it's real. And we're not making this stuff up. It's real.
Right. They see it. Mm-hmm.
It's not real because when it don't affect you, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
We don't want to get too lengthy into it. I know you got some other ground to cover, but I got to throw this on in because recently I seen where the Caucasian boy actually took shots. Took shots at the officer. But he got his day in court. Didn't even get beat up, didn't get shot. He had his day in court. He took shots at the officer.
Wow.
Now that's normally a death sentence.
He got tased. He got tased.
They actually put the right one out.
They actually pulled the tape.
Wow.
Under fire.
Wow.
No, they pulled the wrong one out.
Oh, well, I guess in his case, I guess it was the wrong one, right?
That's the time to pull that one out.
That's the one to pull. That's time to pull the right one out.
But what that shows is you can do that if you choose to.
Yeah. You have,
because he did it then in that case.
Yeah, you have the experience to do it. I mean, you know. I mean, you talk self-control when it comes to certain things. Yeah. All right. Well, those are the laws that we touched on. There's so many more that we want you to go and do your research. Look these laws up so that you're not ignorant of the laws that have just went into effect. That was talked about in our show earlier in the year. So at this time, we get ready to close out. I'm going to start with you. Going this way, Brother Keandre.
Well, I'd like to give all praises. Thanks to the Most High, my Lord and Savior, for this opportunity to come with my brothers and my family that's out there watching. We love y'all. We glad y'all tuning in and supporting us in this ministry. We need you. We need your feedback. Make sure y'all comment. Go online. Reach out to this brother. Let him know what y'all think. Hey, if it's something you want us to talk about, put it out there. Yeah, put it on the list and we'll cover it. But yes, just thank y'all and thank my brothers for inviting me and having this opportunity to sit around the round table and have these discussions. It's truly a blessing. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely a community. We want to be a blessing and a benefit to our community. And Live Talk is one of those platforms because we looking for. This is about solutions and answers, which is why when we're talking about the trades, we're not just talking about them. Come October, we actually going to have a trade show because we want to implement this because we really want to make things real. We're looking for solutions and not just talking about them, but making real solutions in our community that's going to have a positive impact on our community.
Yeah, and I just go on a little further. I was going to share something, but I think this is more important. And do we have a way that people can donate? Is that on our screen right now? Donate. Okay, so if you're watching the screen, it's a way that you can donate to what we're doing. It's a lot of great things that we do within the community, especially with MOP. There are going to be more things that we are doing. And just keep in mind that your donation is tax deductible because we are also a non-for-profit, Temple Brothers and Sisters Goodwill, TBS Goodwill, that is. So definitely, if you like what's going on, you like what you're seeing and hearing and etc., please donate to the show. It helps us out. But like the brothers were saying, we are planning to have a trade show. We want to be able to invite everybody out. The importance of having, just having that secondary education is important. So in our community, just need to be more educated when it comes to, growth within our community. So we invite you to come out to the trade show. We're going to have more information on that, but please keep that date, October the 26th. Keep that date. You're going to hear more information about that. And, and we thank you for watching and tuning in to the show. Thank my brothers for being here. And thank you for being here, my brother. And, from the host, Peace and Prosperity, and from Live Talk, we are out.
Thank you for watching Live Talk. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Live Talk Orlando. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit on the notification button so that you can see more videos like this. You want to join the show? Email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com. You can also follow the host on Facebook and Instagram at Arthur Jeremiah. And visit the website, thenoystore.com, to pick up your copy of The Spiritual Significance of a Name.